All right. Today, we are going to go into two things. I know it just says combat there, but I'm such a tease. We are going to talk about character creation first, which Heathen Dog says is really simple and beyond the supernatural compared to the other games. So I'm going to hold him to that. Don't go watch those other character creation videos. No, only watch this one for Beyond the Supernatural, and you'll have everything you've ever wanted. Or, you know what, if you want to play Heroes Unlimited, go watch that one. Or for the character creation side. And then we're going to segue into the combat of Palladium books. And again, for those of you who are like, oh my God, it's combat again. You've done it 3-4 times before. Right. But somebody might be here for just Beyond the Supernatural and not want to go watch a Heroes Unlimited or Palladium Fantasy video on that. So we are going to talk about and focus on the Beyond the Supernatural version of that so that that person can understand the game and have some fun playing it. All right, RPG Digest is a live stream podcast discussion, not a concise step-by-step tutorial. We may deviate off topic and go on tangents. Please enjoy. Those are the websites that you can come to. Discord is really popping right now. Come on over, join us, join the community, talk with them about all types of different games, not even just Palladium. We have all types of different games on there. And, you know, we have some polls, we have some giveaways, we have all types of weird stuff there. Check it out. You can back us on locals, and you can buy our merch on Redbubble. I'm going to make a better Redbubble advertisement sometime in the future, but not today. And you can watch our videos on Rumble, Odyssey, YouTube, Twitch. And if you want to donate to us, by far the best way to do is PayPal or Streamlabs because the other ones take 30 and 50% cut. This way it goes directly to us. Well, PayPal just increased it again. It's like a 1.5% cut now. Oh no! Compared to 30%, I'll take it. But and you can watch Heathen Dog stream on Twitch, Dungeons and Dragons Online. That is our charity that we support. Go ahead and check out that QR code or look in the link in the description below, and you can help donate to the Wounded Warrior Project. And finally, hashtag RPGate. And I forgot my little blurb that I'm supposed to say here, so I'm just going to try to say it off the top of my head, which is we believe that games are worlds of fantasy and science fiction and of the imagination. And we believe that these are the three core values that every table, every community, every gamer nerd should have while playing their games. And that is escapism, not representation, entertainment over activism, and natural, organic inclusion, not forced diversity. And you will have a fun time. Finally, next week, as we stream this, that is, if you're watching this 2 weeks from now, last week, we are going to have a Palladium Books giveaway contest. Those 4 books you see on the screen right there will be given away next week. All you have to be is a subscriber to the YouTube channel, and you can have a chance to win. There are rules. There are things you have to do, but you can look in the community tab, scroll down a little bit. It's there, or go to our webpage, which I will put on the screen one more time for you. Right there, legiomyth.tv, and you can find 3 separate posts on the contest.
Members only. The thing about this is that all 4 of these books we are either covering right now or have covered this year. So if you've never played them before, you can watch our coverage on how to play them. Yay.
Exactly. Share screen and share a book. There we go. My job is done. I can sit back and relax now as Heathen Dog takes over and tells us about
go to page 132.
Yeah, well, I have to show the cover first. Everybody has to see that.
That's true. Everyone's got to see the cover. I know.
There we go. Character creation. Oh my God, that's really tiny font. From my old ass. And he's going to talk about character creation. You're going to make weirdos that play with Gak and look at, what is that? Looking at boobies and holding her up by him? What is that?
What?
Oh, that's a cigarette smoke. Oh, that's cigarette smoke.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah. Is that Rorschach?
I guess. And that's not Gak. That's probably ectoplasm.
Isn't that the same thing? All right.
All right. Anyway, character creation. All right. Character creation Beyond the Supernatural is a lot simpler than in many of the other games. The reason being is because, like Heroes Unlimited, yeah, we're not gonna do that. Like in Heroes Unlimited, unlike Rifts or Palladium Fantasy, you don't have you don't have an OCC, an occupational character class. So you have an education system because this is the modern world. So you go through school. So there are certain things that everyone's going to know. And then you have in Beyond the Supernatural a profession. So if you're a welder, you know welding crap, and you're going to have skills involving welding. Obviously, it's your job. You learned your job.
Does my character know the melting point of lead?
If you're a welder, you would.
Awesome.
There you go. So really the character creation is rolling up your character, rolling up your stats, choosing an occupation or rolling an occupation, and then choosing your elective skills and secondary skills, and that's basically it.
I
So
bet you
we'll
the
go
game
through it right
covers Ravenslayer's comment too.
You went to Voc Tech? Okay, that's fine. Then you have those skill set. You have vocational technical experience. Good job. And that could be an occupation here. There's a long list of occupation. We're going to get to it. Don't worry.
Awesome.
Okay, the 8 attributes. This is easy. Everyone here is human. You all roll 3d6 down the line. That's it. Every single stat, you roll a 3d6.
3d6, not 46 minus
not 46,
1.
drop 1. No. None of that. None of that nonsense. 3d6 straight down the line. Now, in other games in Palladium, when you're making a character, it doesn't allude to where you can or cannot move stats. Now, since it's all 3d6, I personally don't mind moving stats around because they're all rolled the same. Doesn't matter. But in this one, it actually hints.
Oh, it does say right here.
Supposed to go up and down and leave them. It hints at it.
Well, it says start with IQ and work your way through the rest. I mean, that's not a hint. That pretty much says.
Yeah. But it doesn't say you can't move stats.
And to be fair, even if it did say you can't, you're the game master. Yeah,
you're the game master. You bought the book. You can color it in if you want to. I don't care. So the way you roll stats, you roll 3d6. If you get a 16 or higher, you get to add another d6. And if you roll a 6 on that, you get to roll another d6 and add to that stat. But no matter what you get on that second d6 extra, you just keep and stop rolling.
Yeah, this isn't Heroes Unlimited.
Theoretically, have a 30, starting off before any skills bump it up. You could roll 3 sixes, have an 18, roll another 6, and then roll another 6.
No. This one, no, it says this one you only get 1. You can only have a 24.
Nope. Keep going.
It says, oh, well, I'm sorry. I did miss a sentence. Okay. Because it says roll 1. Got it. Yep. It was in there. You're right.
Yep. There it is.
It said roll yet another D6 for that. Got it.
And after you're done rolling these attributes, now remember, these attributes are soft. Skills affect attributes, especially physical skills. So write these in pencil. But after you've rolled your stats, write them down in pencil, and then you will have your base statistics. Now, the base statistics are going to give you certain attribute modifications if they are considered exceptional. Now, in Palladium, there's no such thing as a bad attribute. You don't get minuses for having a 3, except in role play situations. You don't get any minuses. There is no game mechanic for being dumb as a box of dead cats. You can be. It's fine. You're not going to get a minus to any roll because of it. Only if your stat is 16 or higher, exceptional will give you bonuses. And we're going to go down to that. Wow, my PDF is real slow. Okay, the attribute chart. Here we go. IQ, ME, MA, PS, PP, PE, and PB, and speed. This is intelligence quotient, mental endurance, mental affinity, physical strength, physical prowess, physical endurance, physical beauty, and speed. Speed is the only one where there is really no exceptional attribute. It's just how fast you can run. And above is a speed chart we just scrolled through. It gives you your speed attribute, how many miles per hour and kilometers per hour you can travel in a certain amount of time. That's how fast you are. That's it. IQ will give you a bonus, a one-time bonus to a skill when you get it. Not every level, not every time you gain a level, you don't get this one time when you get this skill. If you get a skill at level 7, you can add your IQ as a one-time bonus to the total. Mental endurance, this is, how strong you are mentally, your willpower. You will get a bonus to save versus insanity and psionic attack. Mental affinity, that's how personable you are, how well you can talk to someone, convince them of that your way of thinking is the right way. So you get a bonus to trust or intimidate someone. Physical strength, this is pretty easy. This adds to damage. That's it. You are strong. You can push through as a damage. Also, depending on your physical strength is lifting. We're going to get to the special strengths in a second. Physical prowess, this is one of the most important stats in the game, right behind IQ. The reason being is this will bonus parry, dodge, and strike. This is fundamental for combat. And if it's high enough, if you have a physical prowess over 30, you also get a bonus to initiative, which is the most important secondary stat in the game. Most important, in my opinion, the most important secondary stat in the game. This thing gives bonuses possibly to 4 different secondary statistics, which are directly important to combat. Then we have physical endurance. This is how tough you are, physically tough you are. You can save versus coma and death better, save versus magic and poison better because you're just that tough. And physical beauty, this is female privilege, charm and impress. You're just pretty. People like pretty people. That's just it. This is the way of the world. It's unfair. Yes, it is unfair. If you were born ugly, well, sorry, bro, but that's how it is.
There's a term called you have a face for radio for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah. You better make a lot of money or else you're not going to get any girls. That's how it works. Or if you're an ugly girl, you better cultivate a really good personality. But if you are pretty, you get a bonus to charm or impress. This is a bonus you just walking in the room. People will immediately like you more. Or in this case, have a chance to immediately like you more just because you're pretty. Female privilege in a nutshell. Okay, IQ beyond 30, it just continues on the chart. +2 for every 5 additional IQ. Keep doing that. Mental affinity, any number beyond 30 means a dynamic, charismatic person with a commanding and or delightful presence. Individual can be very persuasive. Character is so impressive and charming that for every 5 MA points he or she has beyond 30 counts as a -1 penalty for everyone who is listening, looking, or dealing with the character. That means if someone is trying to do something to you, they're at minuses to do it. Because you're just so damn pretty that you are actually distracting to them.
30 is not an attribute that is easy or higher than 30.
It's not easy to get an attribute to 30, especially things like mental affinity, physical beauty, stuff like that, because there aren't a lot of skills or abilities that add to these things. Physical skills, that's different. But all the other ones, there's not a lot to add to it. Okay, now we're getting into physical strength. Ordinary human physical strength. Lifting and carrying. For every 5 points above 30, the strong character can lift or carry 30% more than usual. Now, we're going to get into carrying capacity later on and all of the different strength, all of the different kinds of strength. And that actually, affects your carrying capacity. Supernatural strength is a different multiplier than regular strength. We're going to get into that. Don't worry. But damage bonus continues. +1 point of damage for every per digit beyond 30. That means for every 31, you get another +1. 32, you get another +1 damage. Just keeps adding on. +1 more, +1 more, +1 more. And with one of the psychic character classes, the natural, you can have supernatural strength beyond 30 pretty easily. So that will come into play. Physical prowess, for every 3 points beyond 30, you get on a bonus to your initiative roll. A physical prowess of 31 to 33 +1, 34 to 36 +2, etc. So on. Now, it's extremely difficult to have physical prowess beyond 30, especially beyond 33, 34, 35. You're probably not going to do it. Especially at level 1, it's not going to happen, but it's possible to do it. It's possible, so they have to do it. And then we're going to scroll through here. Supernatural strength and damage. Demons and other supernatural creatures and the natural psychic character class inflict a great deal more damage than normal humans, even humans with extraordinary strength, which is another strength category. Well, while the strongest human in the world may be able to bend metal bars and lift great weights, he would not be able to punch through a metal door or tear through a brick wall. Each description of a supernatural being, monster, or creature of magic will indicate the amount of damage it inflicts plus PS bonus, because we're not doing mega damage, so PS bonus always counts. From just punches, kicks, and bites. Most supernatural beings use the damage listed below to determine base hand-to-hand damage, then add the PS bonuses from the attribute chart. So let's look at the supernatural. If you have a supernatural strength of 15 or less, you inflict 1d4 on a restraint punch, which you should never do. Don't do that. 1d6 on a full punch and 2d6 on a power punch. And then if you do have physical strength bonuses that start at 16, then you get that as well. And it goes up from there. to if you just have a physical strength, supernatural physical strength of 60, you do 2d4 times 10 plus your PS bonus, which is going to be substantial because you have a 60 stat. You're probably going to add somewhere around 25 or 30 to that. It's going to be crazy. You're going to do a lot of damage. Supernatural damage in hand weapons. This I have seen a lot in games vary between Game Master and Game Master, especially in a mega damage environment. Not so much in an SDC environment like we have here, but in a mega damage environment, this comes into play a lot more. When wielding a hand weapon, such as swords, clubs, knives, whatever, a supernatural being inflicts either the weapon damage plus the bonus, or basic hand-to-hand damage plus the bonus. Optional rule. Normal weapons are in danger of breaking when wielded by someone with supernatural strength. It was not a regular bat, a Louisville Slugger, was not meant to be held by someone who can punch through a wall. So when they throw full strength at something, either the thing breaks or the bat does. And if you're hitting a brick wall, the bat's the thing that's going to break. I highly recommend people keep this rule as canon and not optional, because it again shows how much stronger the supernatural creature or person is than some of the weapons they can wield. Now, if you're wielding a light pole, well, okay, that's probably not going to break. If you try and hit a car or a wall or whatever, it might bend and deform. Sure, light poles do that, especially in movies, but it's not going to just break. If you have an aluminum bat and you're beating down a wall, if you're stronger than the wall, you're also stronger than the bat, which means the bat's going to bend and break and all that stuff. It makes for good cinematic play. So I recommend that. All right, and we're going to move on to lifting. Here we go.
Are we still on the same
Weight
page?
and movement. But beneath the picture, it starts weight and movement. Normal characters with a physical strength of 3 to 16 can carry 10 times their physical strength in pounds. Carry. That's not just lift, that's carry. For example, a character with a strength of 9 can carry 90 pounds. A character with a strength of 15 can carry 150. That's normal strength. But strong characters with a physical strength of 17 or higher can carry 20 times their strength in pounds. So if you have a physical strength of 18, you can carry 316 pounds. You're buff, you've been working out, or you're just blessed with a naturally strong body. Good on you. You can carry more. You're a thick boy. You can carry a lot of stuff. But supernatural characters or creatures with a physical strength of 18 or higher, which is common, can carry 50 times their physical strength. Lifting is different. You can lift twice as much as you can carry. This is obvious. This is obvious to everyone. I can lift a lot more than I can carry across a room. I can lift with my legs, not with my back, use my entire body to lift something up. But it doesn't mean I can walk around with it. All right, so lifting and carrying capacity are different for a reason. And then there's throwing heavier, awkward objects. It's going to be easier to throw larger or awkwardly shaped objects when you have, higher strength, because you can just brute force it. SDC. This is pretty cool because it gives you the same SDC for all characters, no matter what. If you scroll down to the next page, this is physical SDC of objects. Go a little bit to your left. There you go. Determining physical SDC. All PCCs, all characters get 1d10 plus 12 to start. That's it. It doesn't matter what character class you choose. You start with 1d10 plus 12.
Isn't that the lowest that we've seen in any game so far?
No, because some OCCs in Palladium Fantasy only started with 10.
Okay.
You didn't get the plus 12. So yeah, there you go. But your psychic character class could add, and of course skills will add later on. So again, this is something is soft. You should write it in pencil. Hit points, pretty easy. It's your physical endurance plus a d6. That's it. When you have 0 hit points, you die. Well, no, when you hit 0 hit points, you collapse, you fall into a coma. When you're at a negative equal to or greater than your physical or greater than your physical endurance, then you're just dead. You're dead. There's no coming back. You're just dead. Well, no, there is coming back, but that's high level magic that I don't even think exists in this game anymore now that they took out magic. Blood loss. This is optional, but again, I recommend you use it. When you have lost half or more of your hit points, you start bleeding out. You lose 1 extra hit points every minute. That's 4 rounds. Because each combat round is 15 seconds.
To be clear, I mean, I know he said it and it's written here, but this is hit points, not SDC.
Not SDC, it's hit points. If you have SDC left, great. But hit points are draining because blood loss is life-threatening. SDC is damage that is not life-threatening. Hit point damage is damage that is life-threatening. Bleeding out is definitely in the life-threatening category. So the reason I want you to keep this in your game and have it not be optional is because sometimes characters need hints, big hints that it's time to retreat. Bleeding out is a big hint that it's time to retreat. Use it. All right, and then we have determine hit points. That's your PE. Roll a d6, add it up. That's your starting hit points. SDC of objects. Objects don't have hit points. They just have SDC. When the object's SDC drops to 0, it's considered destroyed or useless.
Here, let's read this GM note.
Okay.
The
SDC system just described as a standard rule in most Palladium books games. From time to time, we hear a complaint that goes something like, how can somebody be bashing or shooting into a door and that door is in perfect condition? No, it is not. The door is not in perfect condition. It has holes in it, but it still functions as a door. Can you fit through the hole of a bullet? No? Then the door is still functional as a door. Now, if you put enough bullets in it, to where now it's Swiss cheese and you can basically push it and all the holes make it just fall apart. Well, now it's not functioning as a door. It now has 0 SDC. There you go. All right, now we move on. Artificial armor. Again, the way artificial armor works, this shouldn't be in character creation. This should be in combat, but
I agree.
It's here, so we're going to do it. If you're wearing body armor, it has an armor rating and an SDC rating. If someone hits you equal to or less, roll the roll of the die plus their bonuses to hit is equal to or less your armor rating, the armor takes the damage. If it's greater than the armor rating, you take the damage. Wearing body armor is not, oh, I'm protected. No, it's a possible layer of protection. That's why armor that has a higher armor rating is much more expensive because it gives you a greater possibility of being protected from damage.
A question for you. What do you balance? So if you've got armor that's similar, one's got a lower AR but a higher SDC, and one's vice versa, what do you prioritize? I mean, it's easy to say, well, of course, if it's got an AR of 18 versus an AR of 12, I mean, it doesn't even matter how many SDC it has, you're going with the 18. But I mean, without getting too specific with the numbers, like exactly this breaking point, how do you prioritize those? Because I know some people that it's like, hey, I get it, that AR-16 armor is better than this AR-15 armor, but it only has 150 SDC. This thing's got 500.
Okay. If there's a giant disparity, then you would go with the one with the higher value. Now, if it's an SDC disparity, like you said, I would go with the one with the higher SDC. But if the disparity is in AR, like 7 and 18, you go with the higher number. But if they're close, always go with the higher armor rating. Okay. But math wise, it'll protect you better.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't have them memorized, but I know that especially when you start pulling out other books, you'll see some armors like, man, that's got an AR-16, but it only has 200 SDC. This one right here is AR-14, but it's got 500 SDC, so that means it's going to last longer. I'd be honest with you, I almost always prioritize AR. It has to be such a big SDC difference that I'll take an AR-16 armor with lower SDC over an AR-15 armor with high SDC almost every time.
Yeah, I get
Might just be 1 point, but you know what? That 1 point just saved me.
There you go. Natural armor is different. You're not gonna come across natural armor for your character as much here as in other games like Heroes Unlimited, After the Bomb, stuff like that. But natural armor is just it cannot be defeated. They're you know if when someone hits you, it takes armor first. It takes armor SDC first. It's basically it. A roll above the AR inflicts full damage. Below the AR does no damage at all. So natural armor rating of 14. If someone rolls a 14 or less to hit you, no damage is taken. It bounces off your armor. If someone rolls a 15 or higher, your armor takes damage before you do. It's fully protective. Unlike non-natural armor
No,
rating.
you just said the armor takes damage for you. The armor doesn't take damage for natural armor.
No. If it's
your body
equal to
takes
or less,
damage.
no damage is taken. Greater, the armor takes a damage. Whereas in non-natural armor, you take the damage if it's greater than the armor rating. For natural armor, the armor still takes the damage, so it is fully protected.
No,
no matter what.
you're saying that literally backward.
I am not saying literally backward.
That natural armor doesn't take damage. Only artificial armor takes
under
damage.
if it's equal to or under the AR rating, the hit. Let me example again. Natural armor rating of 14.
Mm-hmm.
Someone rolls a 14 or less to hit you.
Mm-hmm.
You take no damage.
Right.
Someone rolls a 15 or higher to hit you, your armor takes full damage.
No, you take the damage for natural armor. For artificial armor that you're wearing, the armor takes the SDC damage.
The roll above the natural AR strikes and inflicts full damage first to the physical SDC of the beast, and once the SDC is to that's because if you have natural armor, that is your SDC.
All you were doing was saying it backward. I mean,
that is your SDC. It's you. It's natural armor. It's you. Yeah. It's not something you put on. It's just you. Yeah. So you are taking the damage, obviously, but your armor adds to your natural SDC. And if you look at things with natural armor, they have a lot more SDC than things that don't.
Yes, that is true.
Because your armor is part of you.
Now with artificial armor,
about that. You're right.
That's fine. It's fine. It gets stuck in our heads, I know. But for artificial armor, what happens is if you roll that 14 or less, I'm just going to say the number that he used, 14 or less, the armor takes the damage. Let me actually be more accurate. If you roll between a 6, there's a 5 and a 14, the armor takes the damage. If you roll a 1 to a 4, nobody takes damage. And if you roll, was it a 15 or higher, then you, the person, the squishy nougat inside, takes the damage.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna move beyond recovery hit points and surviving coma.
That doesn't matter
because it doesn't matter for character. We already spent too much time on armor rating.
Yep.
Selecting of psychic character class. Now here you don't roll, you choose. There is no roll. You choose one of the 14 psychic character classes, which are listed down on the next page. You choose one at this time. Now, I do not recommend you do anything else besides choose at this time, because we're going to go to occupation next. But this is your psychic character class. This will determine your special abilities in the game. But we can put a pin in that for now and move on to choosing occupation and skills.
Which
step
is
5. We're going to put a pin in step 4.
Okay.
Put a pin in it and move on to step 5. Now, your occupation and skills, it says choosing. The reason you choose is because you can choose, but there is a roll. If we go to page 175, is it B100? There it is. Now, I do not recommend that you roll on this. I recommend that you choose. Why? Because you get to choose your psychic character class. What if you choose a psi healer, a psi mechanic? Don't you want to be a doctor, a medic, or a mechanic, or a technician to go along with that? Would that make sense? Obviously, it makes sense. You would choose an occupation based on your natural ability. That's what most people do, or things they like. They choose an occupation.
I don't know if most people do that, but yeah.
Okay, most people want to do that. That's fair enough.
The one caveat I would make to this, since you kind of already changed up the process, is personally, I would flip the script. I would make this. I'd have you do this before picking your psychic character class, and then I'd have you roll on this. I'd have you roll this and then pick your psychic character class that conforms to this. But that's not how the book is written. So let's
right. But if you don't know what your character, you don't want to do background, that's fine. Just roll at random. It's fine. You could be a psi healer who's a professional assassin. If you roll a 34 or 35, that's fine.
I could be a psychic. You're a professional psychic. Yes.
Professional investigator, psychic professional. Yes, you are. You help find dead bodies and kidnap kids. Okay.
Well, we already know this 92 and 93. What PCC that is?
Skeptic debunker. Yep, that's the nega psychic. Yep, there you go. See, again, choosing your profession, it keeps your character clear in your head.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It really helps. So I don't recommend you roll on this. I recommend you choose, because you don't roll for character classes, you choose.
See, I always prefer rolling, but I agree with Heathen Dog in this one.
All right, now we go back to page
Step 4? Step 5?
139.
I'm there.
Yeah, 139. Now we go to picking an alignment. All right. Now, the Palladium alignment system is the same throughout all of it. It's an excellent alignment system. There are good alignments, selfish alignments, and evil alignments. The good alignments are split between principled, scrupulous, and that's it. Principled and scrupulous.
That's it.
For this
that's all
game.
you get.
Selfish alignments are unprincipled, anarchist. The evil alignments are aberrant and diabolic.
And miscreant.
Yeah, they have 3. Okay, that's fine. Now, all of these alignments have a guidebook written into them. Things that you would and would not do if you were this alignment. For example, scrupulous good. Let's go to scrupulous good.
Scrupulous is a good one. I like that one.
Yes. Scrupulous characters value life and freedom above all else and despise those who would deprive others of them. This type of hero is typically portrayed in many movies as the cop who plays by his own rules, forced to work beyond the law for justice or retribution and the greater good of the people. They are not vicious or vindictive, but are individuals driven by their own sense of justice and right and wrong, or to take a bloody stand. These characters will always attempt to work with or within the law whenever possible. A scrupulous character will keep his word to any other good person, lie only to people of selfish or evil alignments, never attack or kill an unarmed foe, never harm the innocent, never torture for pleasure, but tuning someone up a little bit, if it's needed, they'll do it. Never kill for pleasure, but sometimes a bad guy just got to go. He's just got to go. Everyone who's read a Batman comic knows, dude, why don't they just kill the Joker? A scrupulous character would just kill the Joker. After he broke out of Arkham the 3rd time and killed more people, the scrupulous character would go, okay, this guy's got to go. And kill him. Always try and help others. Attempt to work within the law whenever possible. Like I said, the 3rd time the Joker breaks out of Arkham, I put him there 3 times. He broke out 3 times. What the hell? The law's not working. Joker's got to go. Bend and occasionally break the law when deemed necessary. Again, Joker's got to go. Distrust authority. Fears the law and government may not be an effective weapon against injustice and crime. You don't know it, but a lot of people don't realize it, but the government should fear the citizens. The government is supposed to serve the citizens. And when the government serves itself, that's when the citizens have to rise up. And the scrupulous character is going to be one of those citizens. Work with groups, but dislike confining laws and bureaucracy. Never take dirty money or items. Never betray a friend. That's the scrupulous character. Now, most people can role play this character. It is not limiting at all. Yeah, these are 13 limits on your character. Yes, but being a good guy and working within this framework, this is a pretty big box to work in.
And it gives you, I mean, there are a couple of definitives here. We said this before when we've covered alignments, that some of the definitives irk me a little bit, but there's some that make sense. Now, we're not talking an unprincipled character, which is, unprincipled is actually my favorite alignment to play. But scrupulous is on the good side of it. It's not on the selfish side of it. So, this always try to help others. A little bit definitive, but that's fine. Never kill for
always
pleasure.
Try.
Yeah. Makes sense. You're not going to kill for pleasure no matter what. You're not going to find enjoyment in taking a life off the planet.
No.
However, sometimes
Joker's got to go.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, if
So
you can't do this, don't play a good
like
guy.
never. When there is a definitive like never or always, there's always wiggle room in the sentence. There's always wiggle room. There's always a reason around. And when it's not definitive, it will be try or attempt. You'll always be working toward it. You don't have to succeed, but always be working toward this thing. Attempt to work within the law. Try to work within the law. That should be your first response. But if that's not getting it done, then you can move around the law. That's fine.
Exactly.
A principled, a principled good character is not going to do that.
I don't think we need to cover any more of these. If you like we will tell you that the Palladium system for games that have alignments in them is the best, hands down, alignment system of any game that uses them. Personally, I don't like alignments, but if I'm going to use an alignment system, this one's the best one.
Yes. And that brings us to the end, because after that is character advancement.
So there you go. You rolled your 8 attributes or abilities, or whatever they're called in this game. Stats. You've picked your PCC. You know your occupation. The only thing we didn't really cover is skills.
But skills are going to be it's going to be next week.
Okay.
Because occupation and skills fit together, and we'll do them all there. But the thing is, knowing your occupation and knowing your psychic character class is the important part, because you are going to get skills based on your occupation. And you want you don't have to, but you want your psychic character class to match near enough to your occupation, because it's something most people would do. They would want to choose an occupation that they're good at. And you get the ability to do such a thing. So please do.
Should we hit some comment chats here?
Go ahead.
All right, let's pop them. Switch over there. All right, first one we got nobody where I work, another job. So all skills should be 1.
1. Okay. Now you had bad trainers at your job, or you had really high turnaround,
or entry level. It could be an entry level job.
Could be an entry level job, and that's but a welder is not an entry level job. You can't just walk into a job site and start welding on day 1. You can't. Right. You're just going to kill somebody or yourself.
No, actually, good welders, like the ones that do steel I-beams and so forth, go to schools and everything.
You have to have lots of certifications and training and experience, and then you do that stuff. So okay, your job, I wouldn't want to be around.
One thing that I will say, and I don't know if this is true of all fields, but that makes me laugh about people in IT, is every single person in IT thinks that he's God's gift to IT. So if Heathen Dog and I both worked in IT, we work on the network floor or something, I'm going to be sitting there like, he doesn't know anything about networking. I could build such a better network than him. No, those people don't call that office over there. They don't crap about computers. I love listening to that from IT folks. It's like, you all can't be the best one out there. It's like gamers on the internet. How did you kill me? Must be hacks. There's no way you're better than me. Like, shut up. So do we get saving throw for a character being gay? Not in Beyond the Supernatural, but if you played Palladium Fantasy First Edition before revised, yes. Or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles before revised, yes, you could actually.
Wow.
That's the main reason revised came out for First Edition. The Skeptic Debunker for any type works if don't want public to learn truth. Terrors of the Night. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could do that. You could be like a freelance writer or something on the side, although that is already an occupation. Say, no, that didn't happen. I wasn't there. What are you talking about? April O'Neil. There you go. That's the April O'Neil.
Or Scully, whatever.
Or Scully. There. Yep. Actually, that's for the genre. That's the better one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And finally, here we go. Is the alignment system the exact same as the last 5 Palladium systems? Can't we skip this part?
And we've already talked about it. Some people haven't watched the other videos. So we have to talk about alignment and combat, even though combat is also the same.
Yep.
Generally.
Not going to point people to other videos if they're wanting to read the entire, we want to know about Beyond the Supernatural. We're going to cover Supernatural from beginning to end so that we're not pushing them to another video. But with that, we're moving into combat next, right?
Yep.
And that is going to be its own video. So let me quickly put some things on the screen here just for the YouTube side of it. And then we will jump into the combat section. And where are those things that I put up? Of course, there you go. Some links and got some other links that's covering the donation link on the bottom because I forgot to take that off, but that's okay. That's our charity. And there we go. That's how you play video games. Well, video games probably fit there too. But that's how you play tabletop role-playing games and have fun.